Well, Bears fans, things could soon heat up again in free agency for the Chicago Bears, as during Ryan Poles' interview with Pat McAfee on May 1st, 2024, pen in ear and all, Poles confirmed that the Chicago Bears are still considering free agents to add to this roster with their remaining cap hit. And the Bears aren't going to have that much money left over after their 5-pick NFL draft, after especially paying Caleb Williams and Roman Duze, who are not going to be cheap considering they're both top 10 picks and Williams being the number one. And on top of it, you're going to have to pay 5 rookies, especially in that position, about $17 million. And according to SpotRack.com, we have 23.26 left. Take away 17, that leaves the Bears with about 6.26 million left. And to me, that's enough to sign a decent veteran to a 1-year contract. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Bears can still make moves in free agency like they did last year at the edge position, ironically, when they brought in defensive edge Yannick Ngakoue on a 1-year deal, and they might even do it again with him. But I'm going to go through the top 3 remaining free agent edges that could be good for this team. So the Bears have 3 options right now on the table that they could go after. Obviously, one being former defensive edge Yannick Ngakoue, who was on the team this past season, along with Emmanual Ogbah, who has ties to Ryan Poles and won a Super Bowl while Poles was in the front office of the Kansas City Chiefs, and bringing in a divisional friend in Charles Harris, who's recently played with the Detroit Lions. And before I get more into these 3 and who I want to bring into the Chicago Bears locker room, if you want the Bears to bring a veteran edge to work in with Montez Sweat, please make sure to smash the like button on this video to show your support, along with commenting in the comment section below out of the 3 who you would want the Bears to bring back in. So the first guy we're going to go over is the most familiar face, and that's Yannick Ngakoue, edge, who played for the Chicago Bears last season in a total of 13 games. His season was cut short due to a severe ankle injury, but good to know that he has been at House Hall this entire offseason and stayed in the Chicagoland area, healing up, getting things right, working with the Bears, because he was technically with the team till March 12th, until his contract technically expired after the new year started for the NFL. And honestly, I wouldn't mind this at all. The 6'2", 246-pound defensive edge had 22 total tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 4.5 sacks for the Bears last year, along with 12 quarterback pressures. Obviously, this started to really heat up after Montez Sweat came into play. Yannick had 3 sacks, 18 tackles, and 4 of his tackles for loss after Montez Sweat got here. So Yannick was super quiet for a while. No denial about that, but pair him with an all-pro and Pro Bowl defensive edge in Montez Sweat, things were starting to work. Not only that, he knows the defense, he knows his team, he knows the culture, he's respected in the locker room, and he's a leader. He heated up before he got injured. I think that he could be a good mentor for Austin Booker, maybe even Dominique Robinson if we do keep him. But overall, Yannick Ngakoue is an option on the table. He would probably take a hometown discount because no one's signing him right now. He's already comfortable in Chicago. He knows this. He can, plug and play, maybe have some incentives in there, but overall could be a great signing for Chicago. And then another guy that's actually been tied to Poles this past offseason and could really be a possibility coming to Chicago is Emmanual Ogbah, who last played with the Dolphins, signed a massive contract with them, was recently released due to some great success that he had with the Kansas City Chiefs when he won a Super Bowl with them a couple years ago. But by far the biggest and meanest edge that out of the 3 that I'm going to go over, the 30-year-old is 6'4", 270 pounds, and last year with the Miami Dolphins had 20 total tackles, 7 being solo and 3 tackles for loss, along with 9 quarterback hits, 14 quarterback hurries, 5.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, and even an interception. He was making a ton of money in Miami because of the success that he had back in 2020 and 2021, where he was with the Chiefs and absolutely making a ton of noise, where he got a huge contract and was released because he had a huge cap hit. But overall, Poles saw his potential way back when and was able to make him work and knew that it would be potentially good for the Chiefs defense. He ended up being a huge part of their Super Bowl team's success back in 2020. And overall, I would love to see Emmanuel come to the Chicago Bears because clearly he's strong at getting after the quarterback and has good presence. He's a big edge that could be a good mentor for another big edge. in Austin Booker. Also, on top of it, working with Montez Sweat, he has great agility and might be able to even unlock a few other things on this defense. So overall, the connections there with Ryan Poles, the really good overall, longevity that he's had, the career, and he's a champion. He could bring that to Chicago and could be a really solid signing. And then finally, the last guy out of it all, an NFC North friend of ours, a former captain of the Detroit Lions, Charles Harris, standing at 6'3", 250 pounds. He's kind of been all over the place. He's amazing locker room guy, according to, reports. People love playing with this guy. Clearly, he's a leader because he was a captain under Dan Campbell. He does make plays when it matters, but last year really didn't do much. Only 13 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Not bad, but he's older. He's getting up there. He'd definitely be a mentor for this team. He'd kind of be like Green, who we brought in last year, kind of just getting the job done, but overall would just be more of a mentor for this team. So I would like to see Charles Harris potentially. I think he's a good player. He's really fast off the line, super strong player, athletically gifted, great vision, and also super good at reading offenses. So definitely would be able to help out the defense as a whole. I don't think he'd be a starter. I think the Bears would honestly start Booker over him, but he'd be a great rotation player with DeMarcus Walker. Again, it'd probably be Sweat, Walker, Booker, then Harris, but who knows? It could be just a strong rotation to have a good veteran in there. So who do I want out of all of them? Easy choice. Yannick Ngakoue. Guys, he knows this defense. He knows this locker room. He knows his teammates. He knows the division. He started to heat up with Montez Sweat. He really got Eberflus's defense. I think he'd be a fantastic signing for this team in order to bring back on a cheap contract, be a Chicago Bear, was part of the winning culture at the end, and definitely could be a part of it moving forward. So I would love if Yannick Ngakoue came back, but we'll see what ends up happening. He might want to get the bag one more time. He still has some value left in him, but we'll see what ends up happening. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please like this video. It helps out more than you know. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news and content. But with that, thank you as always for tuning this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and let's hear it, baby. Bear down.